Title suggestion. Peel, add sugar. Wait, mom days. The easiest way to grow lemongrass ever. The story. I used to think growing lemongrass was easy. You grab a few stalks from the grocery store, toss them in water, and boom, roots, right? Yeah, no. Every time I tried, something went wrong. The stalks would rot or just sit there doing absolutely nothing. I tried trimming them, putting them in the sun, changing the water daily. Still, nothing. I started thinking maybe I just didn't have a green thumb for this kind of plant. Then I came across a tip that honestly sounded too simple to work. But I was desperate, so I gave it a try. Here's what I did. I peeled off the outer layers of the lemongrass stalk, dropped it in water, and added one little thing: a teaspoon of sugar. That's it. And 5 days later, roots. Real roots. Strong, white, healthy roots. I planted them, and in just a few weeks, I had a thriving pot of lemongrass growing on my balcony. Let me break it down for you, step by step, because I promise, this method works. Step 1. Don't plant right away. Let the plant breathe. Lemongrass from the store usually comes with these tough, brownish outer layers. They're dry, kind of papery, and honestly, they're doing more harm than good if you want to regrow the plant. So the first thing I did was peel those layers off. Underneath, you'll find a pale green or whitish stalk. That's the living part. That's the part that wants to grow. Then I cut the tops off, leaving just the bottom 4 to 5 inches of the stalk. That's your base. That's your future plant. Step 2. The sugar trick. Here's where the magic happens. Instead of using just plain water, I mixed a teaspoon of white sugar into a glass of clean water. Stirred it in until it dissolved completely. Then I placed the trimmed stalks into the water, root end down, so that only about an inch or 2 of the bottom was submerged. Why sugar? Great question. Sugar acts like a quick energy source for the plant. It helps wake up the cells inside the stalk, stimulates root growth, and reduces the chance of rot in stagnant water. It's like a mini jumpstart for the plant. Step 3. Be lazy. Seriously, don't change the water. Most people will tell you to change the water every couple of days to keep it clean. I didn't. Not because I was being smart, just being honest, I forgot. But it turns out that worked in my favor. I left the glass sitting near a window with some indirect sunlight. I didn't move it, didn't refill it, didn't do anything. Just let it be. And guess what? By day 3, I noticed tiny little bumps forming at the base of the stalk. By day 5, those bumps had turned into solid white roots. And by day 7, I had tiny green shoots pushing up from the center. This wasn't just surviving, it was thriving. Time to plant! Once those roots were about an inch long, I moved the stalks into a pot filled with loose, well-draining soil. I didn't use any fancy fertilizer or compost, just regular potting mix. Gave them a light watering and set the pot in a sunny spot. Within a few days, the new shoots started getting taller. The stalks stood up straighter, thicker. A week later, baby stalks began popping up around the base. It was honestly amazing to watch. Now, a few weeks later, I have a full pot of lemongrass. Tall, healthy, and ridiculously fragrant. Why you should grow lemongrass at home. Even if you're not super into gardening, lemongrass is one of those plants that's just worth having around. It's useful, low maintenance, and smells amazing. First, the health benefits. Lemongrass tea is great for digestion. It helps with bloating, calms the nerves, and even supports your immune system. Just boil a stalk in water with a bit of ginger or honey, and you've got a homemade remedy in a cup. Second, it's a natural mosquito repellent. Lemongrass contains citronella oil, which mosquitoes hate. So having a pot near your door or on your patio actually helps keep the bugs away. Third, and maybe my favorite reason, it's incredible in the kitchen. If you've ever had Thai curry, Vietnamese pho, or Indonesian satay, you've tasted lemongrass. It adds a bold, citrusy punch to any dish, and fresh lemongrass from your own plant, way better than the dried stuff or frozen stalks from the store. Also, once the plant is established, it just keeps going. You harvest a stalk, it grows another. It spreads. You'll never have to buy lemongrass again. Let's recap. Here's what you need to do. 1. Get some fresh lemongrass stalks with the base still intact. 2. Peel off the dry outer layers. 3. Trim the tops, leaving a 4 to 5 inch stalk. 4. Place them in a glass of clean water mixed with 1 teaspoon of white sugar. 5. Set it near indirect light and do nothing for 5 days. 6. Once roots form, plant it in soil and watch it grow. That's it. Seriously. I've tried growing so many herbs. Basil, mint, green onions, and lemongrass is by far one of the most rewarding. It takes barely any effort, costs next to nothing, and gives you a plant that's beautiful, useful, and easy to love. So if you've got a window, a glass, and some sugar in your kitchen, you're 5 days away from growing your own lemongrass. Give it a shot. You might be surprised by what grows. And trust me, once it starts, it doesn't stop.